Hello, this is Mike with Tradewinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your 2024 J-Flight 331 BTS travel trailer. You guys picked a beautiful trailer here. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. So let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to think about while you're camping. When you come in parking, leave plenty of room for your awning and the slide that you have on your campsite. On your off campsite, besides leaving room for your slide, I also want you to think about where your power water connections are going to be. They are actually going to be all the way on the rear of the unit. So your power is going to be on this corner, and then your water docking station is going to be right in the middle of the back of the unit. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. The unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light, should you arrive at night, simply retract to lower, extend to raise. Now should you lose power, your hand crank right there that you use for your stabilizing jacks will get on that and get this up and down should you not have power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Once you got your unit level, it looks like your door's in about the middle of the unit, so that'd be a great place to put your level when you're bringing this up and down. Once it's level, next thing we'll do is stabilize it. Now I am going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads will protect the feet of these from dirt, debris, hot blacktop, keep them from sinking into that in the summer. Good investment. Got a 10% off coupon. Grab a 4-pack, put them on the ground, unhook this. Now these new stabilizing jacks, you only have to crank it down. Let's see where I'm at here. 1-2 times, just enough to get a hold of this hook. Lift up on that and push these right to the ground. Just that quick. Then you can bring that down a little further. Now, once it feels like you're going to start lifting the unit, that's when you want to stop. Remember, our unit's already level, we're just stabilizing it. Get all 4 of those down. That unit level and stable. We can hook up our power and water. Again, your power cord is going to be over here on the rear. Big long 50 amp cord. It will plug in to the left, turn to the right to lock on, and then you got this black washer. In convenience packs, you'll have a 50 to 30 amp reducer, as well as a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you want to plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Next thing we do is I'll hook up our water. I do recommend a water pressure regulator. The ones we have will reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. So grab your water pressure regulator, hook that up to city water. One more thing before we turn that water on. Just find your hot water heater, which is up here by your door. We're just going to make sure our pressure release is closed, that is down, so if this were open, antifreeze would be pouring out of there, but make sure that's closed, and then go ahead and turn your hose on. Now if your hose has been on for a few minutes, we're going to go inside here, open up our slides, get a nice steady, open up your slides so that you can get to your water in your sinks and your showers. Open them up, get a nice steady flow of water going through them, get all the air out of the lines, and then shut them off and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping. Grab your water pressure regulator again. Hook your hose up here. Now this time you want to go inside and you're going to want to watch the level of your fresh tank as you're filling it. Right where you check your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. Once that's full, come out here, remove your hose, put that cap back on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp with power and water. We'll go ahead and walk you around outside of the unit before opening this up. Starting here on our off camp side, we got our big storage area, pass-through storage, stabilizing jacks, black and gray holding tanks, low point drains. Right there, that big white handle, that's going to be where you dump your freshwater drain. Then you have an extra gray tank back here. That's where you pull that at. Here's where you plug in the cable at campsites. Black tank flush, we'll talk about that when dumping our black and gray tanks. Again, power. Got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there 2-3 times a year, check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You're prepped for a backup camera. Spare tire has a cover. Keep that on there, that'll keep that from dry rotting. Again, fresh water, city water. Got a hot and cold shower out here. This is your J-port. This bar will slide in here. This top will lift up and fit on here. Important to have this top at this angle. Otherwise, when you open this up, it'll hit on there. But now you've got your outdoor kitchen area, and down below here is your Quick Connect LP. Outdoor kitchen area has lighting, 110, one touch white light, storage, and electric fridge. Again, another thing to make sure you do is lock this for travel. Make sure your outdoor kitchen is locked. Your awning does have a pitch control. If it is raining a little bit, you want to run some rainwater away, simply do that. But these are mainly made for shade. High winds, heavy rains, bring them in, save yourself the trouble, and keep your shade awning looking new. Flue for your furnace, a couple things on that. One, steer clear if it's hot. Make sure it's never blocked, and they do sell bug guards to put over those as well. Here's our other slide with a vent for your hood range, a couple of outdoor speakers, again your hot water heater, and our regular low point drains. Right there, both of those, red and blue, hot and cold. This we'll remove and set on indoors as well, so put a small TV on that. You can have it outdoors with cable and 110 here. It simply snaps on there like that. Coming up front, again, our pass-through storage. There's the 6-burner or single burner griddle for your J-port back there. Your propane is on a regulator pointed toward the tank you wish to be using. A lefty-loosey to open nose. And that about covers it out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. All right, coming up inside the unit, first thing I always like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. To my right as I come in, some control panel. These are my lights, first thing I turn on. Interior and your awning light. Over here is where we check the levels of our tanks. There's your battery, fresh, black, and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump to utilize the freshwater tank. Awning control. On your awning, you only want to run that out until you can see that bar and your flap has followed. If I were to hold that out, down, that will continue to run itself out, flip up onto itself backwards, and start rolling up onto itself backwards. So keep an eye on it when you're running it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. As I bring that in, I'm going to talk about our slides. We're going to utilize our slide control here in just a moment. We'll get this awning rest way back in. All right, most importantly, we have looked outside and made sure that everything is clear and open for these slides to open out to. We'll put out. That's going to take our campsite out, campsite kitchen. And again, there's our rear one, the one pointing toward the campsite, easy to remember. When your slides all the way out, hold that just for a second. Come to the other side. That's the noise I was waiting for you to hear. Sometimes going in or out, you will hear that noise. What that is the slide mechanism saying, I'm all the way out, get your hand off the button. All right, let's go ahead and walk in here and go into our kitchen. We've got a self-explanatory microwave, light and fan above your cooktop. Down here we've got a glass top that makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light here. Turn that to the flame. Hit your spark here. That's where that'll light up. Same thing on all three burners as well as your oven. So turn your panel light off. Turn this to light. Hit your spark here. And you should be able to see the reflection of your pilot light. If not, just duck down a little lower and see if you can see up in there when it's lit. If you rock that panel light down, it becomes an oven light. So you have this down for traveling. 110 up here. Electric fridge. Pantry. Couple of charging ports and great spot for a coffee pot. Down here we got a breaker box and fuses. Oh, you got a ton of 15s in there, a couple of 25s and a 30. Breaker box as well. I highly recommend having a handful of those with you when you go camping. Brings us right into our thermostat. Our thermostat, we got a couple settings on here. We're going to go into AC. See, AC. Hear that kick on. Now the AC also has a quick dump. Little secret, if you arrive at the campsite and it's smoking hot in your trailer, come in here, crank up the AC, open this up. That's going to start circulating cold air so that, bam, when you close that, it's going to blast some nice cold air through here. Now you notice when I shut the AC off, generally shuts off rather quickly. Whereas when I circle through to heat the furnace, there's a return for that. You hear that kick on. Now I shut the furnace off. That does take a couple minutes to cycle through before it shuts off. Come back into our bedroom. Underneath our thermostat is going to be our slide control. It's going to hit out right here. We'll run our bunk side out. So it's out, walk in here, one touch lighting in here, turn that on. Tons of one touch lighting here. 110 charging ports, emergency exit windows. Lift up on that, push that window out, yank your screen out and head on out. You're prepped for TV back here. Double bunk over here, which you can. Take this top bunk, lift it up, lock that in, and now you got a card table. You can also lift this table up, remove those legs, put the table on here, flat cushions on top, another sleeping area. I do recommend traveling with this down. I trust this. The strength of that compared to this, 110 here, coming out of your bedroom. Again, another table that'll lift up off its legs, set down and put the flat cushions on top. Smoke alarm above that. Before we get to our recliners, let me talk about your 12 volt carbon monoxide and propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volt, that's always running off your battery. So if you are not plugged in somewhere, you're out boondocking, keep in mind that this is always going to be running on your batteries. Your recliners, storage area here. It's actually a remote for your sound system here. Parachute pull recliner. Up on the parachute pull up, go the legs. Push them back down with your own feet. Use the remote on your sound system here. AM, FM, Bluetooth, indoor and outdoor speakers. Biggest thing on your sound system here is for your TV. There's your backer. When you run your channel scan, make sure that you have that green light on. That's going to be your antenna. You also have in storage up front a couple of tables that'll set down into your cup holder. for a little eating table there. Going back into our bathroom, couple things to mention here. Your 110 with GFCI reset. Here's where you turn on your hot water heater once that's full of water. Lighting, plumbing. Maintain your plumbing. There's your access panels. Those are square-headed screws. Get in there, check your plumbing now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Lastly, in here, as important things, make sure you have these doors closed for travel. And you have a hand open power exhaust vent here. Keep out of our bathroom here. Head back into our bedroom. All of our lighting in here is one touch. Prep for a TV here. That's your backer. Cable and 110 up there as well. Storage under your bunk. And that covers everything on the inside. So let's act like we're going to leave the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start back here in my bedroom because I know all this lighting in here is one touch. Sorry, but before I leave the bedroom, I have to mention your solar controller. I'm going to send you a separate video from GoPower. Your whole purpose here, the purpose of this is to keep your solar panels from overcharging your battery. All you have to do is make sure that you keep it on your whatever type of battery you put on this. Generally it's wet, but not always. So we'll shut off our lights on our way out. Check our bathroom, make sure our vents closed, doors are snapped, lights are out. Go to our bunk room. Lights out. Doors are closed, nothing's going to impede this slide from coming in. Lastly, we come to my control panel for all the living room lights. And I shut off my interior lights because that way I can walk around and see which lights I need to shut off individually here. Panel light. Back into our bunk room. I'm going to leave the one here by the door on. Come back to my control panel. Turn on my interior lights. Now I know when I'm leaving, I can just shut off that light and all the lights are off. I'm going to leave that on so you can see the slide come in. That looks like I'm going to have to reach up and shut that off. Otherwise I won't be able to reach it. So shut off all your lights in there. There's the noise we're looking for. Secure so that this doesn't catch that. You really want that latched. Come back to our control panel. We're going to do our opposite one. Slide in. It's going to be off the wall over there. Same thing on your sink. Maintain your plumbing. Get up underneath there and check it out. Again, if you travel a lot in this and you're bouncing a house up and down the road a lot, I want to check on things. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose. And lastly, slide in on our kitchen here. Lights out, exit the unit. Now, biggest thing on these steps, bringing them up or down, you have to have this exterior door all the way open, otherwise this will catch on it. Your feet are also adjustable simply by pulling on these cotters. Lock that in there. Now before you leave your dump station, I say that because you're going to go inside there and check your levels as you're dumping. But before you leave the dump station, lock, deadbolt, lift and turn that handle. That's how you want that handle for traveling. Now, if we are out dry camping, we'll bring up our stabilizing jacks. Come over here. This low point drain on our off camp side is going to be your freshwater tank. Get up underneath there and open that up, dump that, and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever you're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be in between your tires and in front of the unit on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Park accordingly. Get our convenience pack. It's got a 10-foot hose in it. Hook that up. And first thing you do is pull that black handle. That's going to be your sewage. When it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. Come back out here. It shows close to empty. Leave that black handle open. Grab the hose at the dump station and hook it up to this tank flush valve. Again, emphasizing leaving that black handle open. Turn that hose on. Let that run for a good 5 minutes. That's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose, close that, make sure all that black tank washout water has drained, then close that black handle and pull this first gray. That's going to be cleaner water as your sinks, your showers. When gray tank number 1 shows empty, close that up, come back here and pull gray holding tank number 2 handle. That'll drain at the same spot. Usually while those are draining, I head over to my campsite, get up underneath there and dump those low point drains. If I'm done camping for a while and not going to be using my hot water heater, I will lift up on this pressure release valve and get all the hot water out of that. When that last gray tank is done, and close that handle, grab your sewage hose, and conveniently, and more importantly, sanitarily, store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this J-Flite for many years to come. Happy camping.